Thank you for watching. My name is Glenn Morgan and this is We the Governed. So today we were talking about a rally and an event that we had in Lewis County. I spoke there where over 600 people gathered to support Spiffy's restaurant and some other businesses in Washington State who are being targeted by Governor Inslee. And here's what I had to say right after that rally.
All right, we're outside the Lewis County Courthouse, and they had a hearing broadcast inside today. We had a big rally out here, and the result of the hearing in regards to Spiffy's restaurant was just that they delayed it by about a week. So it's a continuance. The judge just kicked it down the road. However, the Farm Boy restaurant was here as well, and they referenced the fact that in Thurston County, Judge Price decided to find them guilty of everything and impose a $2,000 fine, which they will take away if they can comply with the government's ruling. And this morning, when we were at Stuffy's restaurant in Longview, the Attorney General decided to serve them while we were there. And so it's been a busy day today with the state deciding to prioritize all of its law enforcement efforts on going after restaurants around Washington State who dare to provide food to their clients and ignore Governor Inslee.
So the only thing I said there that's a little bit inaccurate is that Judge Price was originally assigned to this case in Thurston County. However, he recused himself and they basically shifted it over to Judge Lannis, who is the judge that heard both cases for the Farm Boy restaurant in Thurston County, which was basically a contempt of court hearing. And what happened is L&I, the Department of Labor and Industries, at Governor Inslee's direction, is fining the Farm Boy over $9,000 a day right now for being open against Inslee's lockdown orders. And that's a minimum fine, by the way, because it could be as high as $100,000. But right now they're being fined a little over $9,000 for that. And Judge Lannis decided that he would also add on $2,000 a day of fines as part of this contempt order, saying that they're in contempt of court. So he's charging them an extra $2,000. So they're basically racking up about $11,000 of fines a day in order to be able to serve food in Thurston County with the clear recognition that if they do shut down, they're gone for good. This is the end of their business, and it's the end of employment for the people who work there. And the one thing I didn't really mention so much earlier is that some of these people have been on unemployment as they were laid off earlier when the first lockdown rounds happened. And just like at Spiffy's restaurant, just like at Stuffy's restaurant down in Longview, we've discussed this before, some of these lower income employees or people who work in these entry-level jobs, they were on unemployment for a while, but unemployment's either run out or the Employment Security Department is so screwed up with their Nigerian fraud scheme that they got caught wasting hundreds of millions of dollars, of taxpayer dollars, that got sent overseas because we hire only really sharp and intelligent people who work in our state agencies. And so these people couldn't get unemployment anyway, and these restaurants realized that in the second lockdown this was going to be the end of their business, or they could at least give their employees some Christmas to have before Inslee decided to shut them down. This is really the legal battle that is starting to occur all around the state. The Farm Boy in Thurston County is kind of the first restaurant in this legal cycle. The hearing that happened today with Spiffy's restaurant, same judge, Judge Lannis in Thurston County Superior Court, which is where the Constitution goes to die, and so apparently do your freedoms and your liberties. Judge Lannis allowed Spiffys to basically kick the can down the road another week and get a continuance on their hearing. So they're going to come back next week and we'll find out what he decides to rule there. But I'm not super optimistic because Judge Lannis is kind of on the inside crowd. He's a former Attorney General employee himself. And his aunt was actually Mary Fairhurst, who had been the former Chief Justice in the Washington State Supreme Court. She just retired about a year ago. And so this is somebody who's very tied into the insider game in Olympia, in Washington State. It's harder to get more insider than that. He went to Dartmouth, he graduated from Harvard Law School, and he's not missing any paychecks, and he's certainly not suffering financially. But the people he's going to be making the rulings are in his courtroom certainly will be, and they are right now under Inslee's direction. So simultaneously, while this hearing was this rally was going on down in Lewis County outside the courthouse down there, in Thurston County, there was another rally, a smaller one of about 70 or 75 people or so, that was basically for the same subject. They were there really specifically for the Farm Boy restaurant. And then those people afterwards went over to Sheriff John Snaza's house afterwards and actually chatted with him outside of his home. And so there's a lot going on right now. This morning, right before the rally, I was actually having breakfast at Stuffy's restaurant down in Longview when the Attorney General's office served their initial temporary restraining order on them. So they got served with a bunch of documents, and it's a big, thick wad of documents that were served on them there. And they already had the liquor license pulled from them. And this is just really this war that Inslee's waging all across Washington State against any business that dares not follow the dictates that he's issuing, which is just commit business suicide and end your business and never come back. That's Inslee's direction to a lot of these businesses. Now, keep in mind, over the last few months, the Attorney General's office is fully aware. There's been multiple firearm discharges that have occurred at protests in Olympia, and even one that there's a lot of video on of an Antifa person pointing his gun at a crowd of Trump supporters at a distance and discharging a firearm directly at him. The Attorney General's office isn't doing a thing about that case. They're not prosecuting that case. They're not prosecuting other criminal actions that are occurring. They don't care about riots or arson or any other problems in the state. What the Attorney General's office is doing is they're directing all their energy and time to attack any business that dares not to comply or bend the knee to Inslee's randomly changing, never-ending lockdown orders. And of course, conveniently, those are always small businesses that don't have a lot of resources to push back. And so this is the situation we find ourselves right now in Washington State. These restaurants who are taking the brunt of this attack. So the Farm Boy in Thurston County, just off the Maytown exit, just down to Lewis County, you have Spiffy's restaurant, and further south down in Cowlitz County, in Longview, you have Stuffy's restaurant. These are the people who are basically being drugged through and attacked completely for daring to defy Governor Inslee. And that's where we stand now. This looks, even though the Stuffy's restaurant case has been filed in Cowlitz County, I expect them to move it up to Thurston County. Again, you have tame judges there who are not going to buck the system. If they dare buck the system, their political careers are over. Judge Lannis knows this. So this is going to be a bunch of tame judges that will go along with whatever the state asks them to go along with. And apparently destroying small businesses is a really high priority for Governor Inslee right now. And he has determined that everybody else is not essential. He's not missing a paycheck. None of his senior managers are missing a paycheck. He wants you to wear masks, but if you look at the videos that have been surfacing all over the internet lately, most of his staff, a lot of them oftentimes aren't wearing masks when they're off camera with Inslee there. And I'll show you a couple photos here. You can see people are getting angry. I mean, this is not exactly the environment to make it a peaceful state. It's the environment where you're basically not treating people equally. You're applying the law much more aggressively to some people, and you're ignoring really obvious problems that are going on out there right now with the druggy homeless camps, with violent Antifa people, and meanwhile you're going to attack and aggressively direct the state resources against small businesses. This doesn't make sense to anybody who's really paying any attention. I guess it makes sense to the halls of power in Olympia, but this doesn't seem to be a recipe for a peaceful a way to address the situation in a peaceful manner. And both the Attorney General's office under Bob Ferguson's leadership and Governor Inslee, this seems to be the direction, making sure that if they have their way, none of us will be essential at the end of the day, except for the leaders in charge. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share with others. We hope to give you more updates on these situations as they develop. Don't forget to subscribe and to share this video with others. It's not like we can count on YouTube or Facebook or anybody to necessarily push this information out there. And I hope that if you have any comments about anything I've missed, please make sure you add those in the comments section below. And remember, the future does belong to those who show up.